From the top of the CBS Interactive building in sunny San Francisco, California, it's the Apple Byte Extra Crunchy with your host, Brian Tong.
Coming to you straight from Los Angeles, California. What's up?
What's up, dude?
I had to throw you for a curveball. You're like, wait, what is he talking about?
I know. My voice is like so much louder than yours, too. It's
I love
funny.
it. I love it.
Cool.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. It's the Apple Byte Extra Crunchy, episode 11 now. All right, the show keeps on growing. You guys keep on making it happen. We always want to set this show up and say if you have any questions, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to interact with us, the phone number to call and leave your voicemail. We don't have any, live calls or anything going on right now, but we want to hear. It's iPhone Friday today. By the time you hear this, it might not be. But 1-800-616-2638. 2638. 1-800-616-2638. That's the number. We want to hear your experience, whether you waited in line. I hope you didn't wait in line. I don't know why you would wait in line, but we'll find out. Also, we just want to hear what you think about the phone. Do you like it? Is it everything you thought it would be? I'm super hyped about it. iPhone Friday. I must admit, though, I don't have my phone right now. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's in San Francisco. It's in my office right now.
Oh, I saw it. I actually saw the
bastard.
package get delivered. I saw it get delivered.
You do not.
Bunny got all excited. She's like, ooh, I know what that is.
Do not. If any of you are thinking about going into my office right now, I will kill you. I have like laser traps and all that. Okay.
Did you know that there are people camping in San Francisco? Did you know that?
Yeah,
there's a couple tents out there.
Oh my god. Well, in San Francisco, we have like the Chinese black market where people like go in line, buy them, and then like sell them secondhand.
Oh yeah.
You have that element in San Francisco. But we wanted to show you guys just to get a scope. And yes, people still are waiting in line. They enjoy the spectacle of the iPhone launches in store. I mean, I like waking up at midnight and ordering it from my phone. I don't know about you, Beach. What did you do?
I haven't ordered it yet, actually. I'm thinking about going into a store and doing it in person eventually, but not anytime soon. Yeah, not today, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's no rush for you, right? You don't really care.
No.
You want to do it, but it's like
my wife though. Her phone is like falling apart. Like her screen is coming apart. Siri doesn't talk, or you can't hear Siri anymore and stuff. Like her phone is breaking. So she wants to get down there ASAP.
So if you want to avoid the zoo, we did want to show you kind of a bit of the zoo. There's pictures from around the world. I think there's a video from Apple Insider of the action that was happening outside the New York store, right?
Yeah, this is in New York.
Earlier
today. Yeah, it looks like a party. The Apple employees are standing in a row, and people are running through the row of Apple employees. It's kind of hard to get a shot because there's so much media there. I mean,
there's so many people. Selfie sticks are up in there. It's like, what are you gonna do? I'm still fascinated how the lines are still really long, especially in New York. I mean, I know it's one of the most densely populated cities. I mean, I can't imagine everyone there was there to use the iPhone upgrade program because that's the only thing that you can do it in store.
No, it's like an event, It's like a rock event. Now, there's the girl who bought the first one with the blonde, flowing, curly hair.
She reminds me of Carrie Russell-ish.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right? She's got that vibe going on. Anyways, there's pictures from around the world. Sydney, Hong Kong, China.
Sydney's usually the first, right?
Sydney is technically the first place. Yeah. So there's a guy, his name was Vitor, and he put his hands up in victory. I really hope that's not his greatest achievement in life. I'm just hoping that people think there's more to life than that.
I know.
But I don't even have my phone. I don't have my phone. Like, actually, this is my iPhone 6S, guys. You can't even tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. I'm just going to show it to you like that. So just, there's a kind of review, overall consensus. And I mean, it's a lot of stuff that we have talked about. And I kept on saying to people, 3D Touch is more than just a long press. It's a game changer to me. People are starting to really see that. They're like, most of the reviewers are saying how 3D Touch is so different. It's a new UI. They dig it. And then everyone, of course, loves the camera on the phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about the camera, 4K. It's going to look super slick, man.
There was even this group, I think their name is Riot, but it's spelled ryot.org. They shot the first documentary with the 4K camera, and they attached different lens to it, and they even put it on a drone to shoot like a documentary based on what's the documentary called?
Here,
Oh my gosh.
I found their page right here. Hang on a second.
Yeah, it's a documentary about like a city where people from Haiti during the earthquakes, they basically went there for the refugees who had to like live in, you know, those kind of set up homes. And it's about a guy who was painting the neighborhood and making the homes look unique. But they shot this documentary about this man that brought kind of charm and some vitality to this area with just the fact that he decided to paint these buildings.
Oh, the painter of Jalousie.
Yeah, Jalousie. Sorry, I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. So it's something just you have to imagine. This is all shot purely on an iPhone 6s with its 4K recording. It's just insane how far technology has advanced. You know?
Yeah, yeah. There's this show on Vice called The Business of Life, and they did a thing where they interviewed a bunch of like big movie studio producers and directors. And they're like, "How do you guys feel about directors making movies on iPhones? You know, and saving thousands of dollars?" And they're like, you know, people are going to do it. People are going to take these tools and use them and make incredible stuff out of it. So, you know, it's very interesting.
It's really cool. I think it's just fascinating. It just, you know, technology and the way it's so much more accessible. I remember back in the day when I was going to school and like to even get a prosumer level camera, you had to spend over $3,000.
Like, that's great. You know what's fun, super funny is the last Apple event that we did. We always have a live shot out in front of the Apple event, and this time it was at Bill Graham Civic Memorial. So we had an iPhone Skyping us the video so that we can put up a live shot from outside the event. You know, that's how we always do things when we do these live events. And Celso, one of our cameramen, he's like a very macho Brazilian camera guy.
Big guy,
huge buff guy, right? And all the other news cameramen were giving him crap because they're like, "What is that camera you got there, man? What is that? You shooting this with an iPhone?" And he was like totally embarrassed.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he had it
so funny.
He had it on an industrial sized tripod.
Yeah.
Mounted, but it looked flawless.
Yeah, the picture came back. It was perfect. It looked beautiful. We heard the sound. So,
you know what I say? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, hate the game.
That's what I say. Don't hate the player. So, you know, 3D Touch being the big old feature with this new phone, we decided, you know, we'd like to have fun with people. So we wanted to give some of that back to you guys who are listening. We asked people on the street what if they knew what 3D Touch is, because, you know, everyone throws up these marketing terms, these phrases. So I don't know if you have the video queued up, Beach, but
I'm ready.
Let's let people listen to this thing. Right. What's up, guys? Brian Tong here with my feet on the street. The iPhone 6s is coming out, so we asked people on the street, what is 3D Touch?
Well, what it sounds like is you touch it and it pops out of the screen.
3D Touch.
I have no idea what 3D Touch is.
The harder you press, it changes the behavior.
Check out this 3D Touch. It's pretty cool. You know, you adapt it to your phone and it goes on your wrist, and
it opens up stuff like briefly.
When you press it, the app opens different options before you open the entire app.
That it could open your phone without actually touching it. I don't know, some sort of weird 3D interaction.
You can't. It's a.
Oh, maybe like the buttons look like they're raised.
It just means that you can touch your phone really good.
You can press certain buttons to make different things happen, either superficially or you can get deeper.
It does all kinds of fun stuff when you just touch it.
who knows? You know, something might pop up out of there. You know, just a little feature or something. You know, I don't know.
I'm expecting like a hologram to come out of your phone and you can touch it.
Well, you can now interact with apps using a down state.
You could press harder on the screen and it does things.
It would probably somehow pop out at you.
How would you best describe 3D touch?
Advanced gestures, so different touch sensitivities for different gesture layers.
It'll heighten my IG pics and my Facebook posts.
And I think it's, I guess you see an image, you touch it and it kind of animates itself, kind of like a Harry Potter newspaper.
It's like where your finger has like the pressure sensitive things, and looks really cool for like gaming.
It's when you like hold down the screen and things pop up and you don't have to, it saves you like 2 clicks. So your finger is less stressed.
No idea. No clue whatsoever. Futuristic digital output on top of your screen.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Do I get an iPhone for doing this?
I wish I could give you one. Come on. Homegirl asked for an iPhone after that.
Yeah, she's crazy. What is she thinking?
I don't know. She was like, that's cool. Anyways, for the most part, people are pretty good, but it's just fun to like see people try and figure it out. They're like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it is a tough name to really get your head around. Force 3D Touch.
Yeah, it used to be Force, now 3D Touch. All right. So, anyways, I hope you guys all love your iPhone 6S's that you have and I don't at this moment. But come Sunday, I will have mine, unless Steven takes it out of my office.
No, it's safe. It's safely in your office.
It's tucked away. I'm not going to tell you. It's tucked away somewhere. So someone's gonna try and steal it. All right. We just wanted to talk about this in not so great news, but also Apple is addressing it. Over the past week, there were some apps that were basically had malware installed in them that made it into Apple's App Store. This happened a little less than a week ago. But basically, what happened is that when Apple releases Xcode to the public, their servers get hammered. So what happened is that a different version of Xcode called Xcode Ghost, as it's so affectionately named, was released as well at the same time. A lot of people didn't know that it was, a compromised version of Xcode essentially. And so people, because they're lazy, wanted to download Xcode from a different site. They instead accidentally downloaded Xcode Ghost. Then when they build their apps, it had this malware in it that got into the App Store that potentially could steal your personal information, location, things of that nature. Now, the good thing is that all reports say it didn't happen. Apps have been now cleaned out of the store. They've been able to identify it. But some people are like, how could Apple let something like this happen? And to me, quite honestly, it failed in 2 steps. But right off the bat, developers went to a random site to download Xcode to build their apps.
So it was the developers just kind of being impatient.
Yeah.
And trying to get their app first, huh?
That's what they did. That was the first step that was bad. But then the fact that it got into the Apple Store, right, and they weren't able to basically vet it because it still looked like, oh, these are apps made in Xcode. But that wasn't the case. So most of the apps originated from my friends in China, of course. Of course, they're the ones that are doing this crap. WeChat is actually a very popular global chatting type, messaging app. That one has been fixed, right? All they had to do is basically rebuild their apps with an updated version of Xcode, put them through the store, and the malware is gone. So according to some security firms, approximately, we know there's millions of apps on the store, but approximately 4,000 apps have been affected. But really, there's maybe a list of 25 that were the most popular that people actually really use. And then those have been taken down as well as the other ones that have been found. So it's a 2-pronged boo-boo.
How fast did they move on that? Like what was the time frame on this?
I'm based on how the timetable of everything happened. Once we heard about it, Apple pretty much started reacting to it and taking them down within 24 hours easily.
Oh wow!
It was a really fast turnaround. So, they figured it out, but they claim that no personal data ended up being leaked, and the malware that was in these apps, no one flipped the switch to say, okay, start collecting this stuff.
That's good.
So, everyone safe. It's a little scare, but when everyone kind of touts oh, we're the most secure app store, blah blah blah, everything can get hacked. To tout that type of stuff, it's just silly to me,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're on the ball with that, and they took care of it ASAP, which is good.
Hey, get it, ASAP.
Ah, you guys we all dodged a bullet with that.
Absolutely. All right, absolutely. I'm gonna throw them out on you. All right, just a quick thing. Apple also released an update to iOS. It's 9.0.1. They fixed some bugs.
Yeah.
But the thing they didn't do, I don't know if you know this. People brought this to my attention. I'm like, this is lame. But if you have an iPad and you use Apple's podcast app, and if you subscribe to excellent video podcasts like the Apple Byte or the Apple Byte Extra Crunchy, there's no way to watch the video podcast full screen right now in iOS 9.
Are you kidding me?
There's no button that expands it full screen on an iPad right now.
That is a major mistake.
And they did this update. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll fix it. They didn't fix it. And then someone wrote me. He's like, here's a fix. Go into the accessibility options, and then there's this 3-finger swipe that you can use to zoom in, and it's a temporary fix. But the bottom line is Apple still hasn't put a button just to make that video full screen. So it's takes up 1/3 of your screen. It's so stupid.
So would that have to be an update with the operating system overall, or can they just update that app by itself?
I gotta imagine they just have to update the app.
Yeah.
But it was part of, it's the latest version of the app that was part of iOS 9.
And it comes built in with iOS 9, right?
Yeah,
You get it automatically.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, wait. That deserves a. Hang on.
What does it deserve? Wait, hold on.
Hang on. That deserves a bad apple. Wow. I mean, that's, like the podcast app is my bread and butter.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I help manage that. Well, all of CNET's podcast feeds. So that is important.
For you and me, that's trouble.
That is big trouble in Little China.
Arguably, you and I might be doing this in my garage next week.
Yeah. That's funny.
Actually, we could. We actually could.
We could. You could. You almost technically are. Why don't you just walk out in the garage right now?
I don't want to do that. All right. So we got through all that. Apple's also shown off. We know that developers that kind of signed up for this lottery got access to the Apple TV, like a developer version. iFixit has decided to tear it apart, just to kind of show us what's inside of it. There's no kind of big surprise here. We know that there's a larger A8 chip inside. There's not larger. There's an A8 processor inside. Previously found in the earlier iPhones. There's a larger heat sink. They use the same memory controller that can be found in the Retina MacBooks from 2015. So that's kind of interesting as well, some of those different components. But also because the developer kit is out, Apple released the second beta of the Apple TV OS for developers, and a couple new things kind of popped out of that. Steve Troughton-Smith, who's a developer. Oh, wow, I heard a ding in my ear, but it's not. Sorry, I got distracted. Did you hear that ding?
I did hear that too. I don't think it was me either.
No, it's me. How do I turn that off?
I don't know.
So I can't. Who cares? Whatever. Anyways, the tvOS does two things now. The old Apple remote still actually works with the new Apple TV, which means there's an IR port on there, which means someone who does those universal remotes for the home theater, they're going to be good to go. Like you could essentially reprogram it so that it works with the new Apple TV, which people didn't know that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
I'm all about having one remote, man.
Hell yeah. And then the other cool thing is that with this new Siri remote, when you, in the past, you have to press a button for the Apple TV to start up. But if it's in sleep mode, instead of you pressing the button, supposedly when you pick up the remote, it should sense it and then automatically turn on.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Just make life a little easiar for you,
Yeah, they should do that for the Wii remote, please. Thank you.
You still play Wii?
Oh, hell yeah.
With
Play
your
Mario,
kids? Huh?
Yeah, totally. And it controls your TV just like the Apple, what they're talking about with the Apple thing.
Yep.
So it's really easy to get around. Amazon, YouTube, all that stuff's on there,
What about Wii Tennis, man?
Oh, Wii Tennis.
Are you still playing that?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
You are?
Well, I was talking about the Wii U remote. I'm sorry. But yeah, I still have Wii too, and I play Wii Tennis with my son.
So you have a Wii U. I really don't know many people that actually bought the Wii U, dude.
Oh yeah, I love it. I use it all the time. Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, games, all that stuff. So it's
so
you
cool. You don't have a PS4, you have a Wii U.
I have a PS3 and a Wii U. I have every Nintendo console that was ever made.
You're a Nintendo guy. Is that what you're basically saying? See, there you go. Now it all comes together. It's starting to make sense, right?
But I have the PS4, and I'm not looking to upgrade to the PS3, and I'm not looking to upgrade to the PS4 because I just have too many.
That's the wrong answer. The PS4 is amazing, dude.
Well, here's the question: can I play the new Batman on the PS3?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to buy the PS4. That settles that.
That discussion has been resolved.
Santa Claus. Hopefully Santa Claus is listening.
Mrs. Beecham, Santa Claus. We know. Mrs. Claus, can you get that for him? Can you help him out?
Yeah, honey.
Okay. Okay, so check out this story. This is kind of like gossipy. I like this stuff. Okay, so Aaron Sorkin, behind the new Steve Jobs, amazing West Wing newsroom. What else has he got under his belt? Oh, the Social Network, the Facebook movie.
So good, yeah.
That movie surprised me so much.
What? Which one?
The Social Network.
Oh my God, David Fincher's the director. You can't go wrong with David Fincher, man. And dude, Aaron Sorkin and him writing together. They're doing another one, right?
I think so. I can't remember though. What do you know off the top of your head?
I don't know, but who did the Steve Jobs one? Did Aaron Sorkin write that too?
Aaron Sorkin wrote the Steve Jobs movie, but It wasn't Fincher that directed it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Fincher.
Can't remember off the top of my head who directed it, but I should know this. I was just talking about it, like last week. I'm just brain farting. But anyways, so this is a great thing. Okay, so recently Tim Cook was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and in it they were talking about a variety of issues. But he also mentioned how he felt that filmmakers were being opportunistic by creating movies, biopics of Steve Jobs, because there's been 2 already. One with Ashton Kutcher that's
terrible.
I mean, the trailer was like, I could have done a better job out of my bathroom, dude. Okay, it's bad. There's also another recent one that shows Steve Jobs in kind of not as good of a light as well. It was kind of more trying to.
It's more of a documentary, though, right? Like
Yeah,
a straightforward doc.
That one just recently came out. There's so many, I can't even remember what that one was called.
Yeah.
But this new one that is coming out October 9th, that is called Steve Jobs. Tim Cook was basically, just because Steve Jobs was his homeboy, his friend, and also the guy who basically gave him Apple, the company, to run. He said he felt people were being opportunistic about making all these movies and making money about this. But then Aaron Sorkin, fires back at Tim Cook and says, nobody did this movie to get rich. Secondly, Tim Cook should really see the movie before he decides what it is. Now, here we go. Third, if you've got a factory full of children in China assembling phones for 17 cents an hour, you've got a lot of nerve calling someone else opportunistic.
Oh, that's heavy, man.
Dude.
That is heavy.
He's like, oh, wait, let me take the gloves off now.
Yeah.
Let me take the gloves off. Let's go.
That's for real right there.
I was like, oh, wow. And that's a great point, man.
It is a great point.
That is
I do think about that every now and then, It's like, it is a sad state of affairs.
It's like, you think about it, and it's sad, and it's horrible, and then you do know how, like, other countries have different, basically cultures in countries that live differently than us, but it's bad. But then at the same time, that's why we're able to have these crazy toys. So you have to at least be socially aware of it,
Well, it's not just the crazy toys that we have. It's like, it's also created an entire industry that's employed millions of people, and it's starting new industries too. So it's such a double-edged sword. It's hard to get on either side,
We're grown up, so at least we understand the dynamics at play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, some of the young kids are like, dude, my iPhone's dope. I don't care who made this thing,
Yeah.
You've got to care a little bit. So,
which
anyway.
is why I'm on the 2.5 year phone cycle
really?
plan.
Oh, really?
That's part of it. I mean, that is part of it. Like, I heard this story from CNET that was 50% of all the wildlife in the ocean has died in the last 40 years or something, right? And then there was another story the same week that was like, there's more devices on the planet than there are human beings right now, which is mind-blowing. You think about it, right?
And that does make sense, but that is insane.
So it kind of like got me on this thing, like, I don't want to get a new phone every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't say that I agree with you there, but
it's tough. It's a tough call. I mean,
but I'm the number one ocean lover, man. Oh my gosh. I mean,
but that's the whole phone thing is not tied to the oceans. It's just tied to man being assholes. Humans are assholes.
We are like locusts that seek and destroy and only care about ourselves,
Like, oh, hey, there's a good piece of property over there. Let's go grab it. Just rip things out of it. Rip all the resources out of it that we can, Put up some buildings on it.
That's an unbelievably beautiful segue that you just set up unintentionally because, Steven, I've got to tell you. So first of all, to kick this off, we know there was a report recently from the Wall Street Journal that Apple is pretty much fast-tracking and making a top priority to build and potentially ship their Apple Car concept that they've been investigating over the past year in 2019. Okay, so this is where this dovetails to what you said, and we'll go back to the car.
Yeah.
Apple recently has decided to buy a plot of land in North San Jose for $166 million.
Wow.
To build facilities and offices. It's a 27-acre site right off of Highway 101 in Northern California. So like you said, sweep up the land, make buildings.
Yeah. I mean, that I understand because that's in the middle of a giant industry,
Yeah.
But That is crazy. Like San Jose is becoming the place for car manufacturers like Tesla and now Apple. Like San Jose is going to be the new Detroit of the Detroit of the future soon. It seems.
Detroit, Silicon Valley, right?
It's crazy.
I mean, it's where the tech companies are. It's where these tech companies are investing. So you now have what? Google, Tesla, and potentially Apple, but definitely developing and doing R&D, but potentially all manufacturing.
Yes, if
some
they're
degree,
manufacturing
some
Apple
degree.
cars in San Jose, that's a huge thing for California and our country. Just that we're making stuff in this country again, you know? Because we like to make everything overseas.
People will say no way. There's no way that can happen. But I think arguably Apple has talked about it for years that they wanted to start building their own devices in the U.S.
Yeah.
Macs, I know for a fact, are now at least assembled here in the United States. Not necessarily manufactured, but assembled here. But Tim Cook talked a lot about bringing that manufacturing and assembly here to the U.S. It'd be very interesting to see what happened because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was a Toyota for a while had a plant that was doing some of their e-vehicles out here in Northern California as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's near the Tesla plant too. I think.
Exactly. I almost believe, I feel like the Tesla plant took over that facility and converted it to Tesla.
I think you're right. I think they bought it and now it's Tesla. It was like Hyundai or something before.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, I'm all for it, man.
No, I am. You know what would be really funny? I mean, I'm pretty sure we're right, but this is that game that you play where two people are talking about a topic, and then one guy says, yeah, you're right. And the other guy's, no, no, you are right. And then they both start talking about this topic, and it's completely wrong.
Yeah, totally. We could totally be wrong, everyone listening. But I'm excited for the Google car, the Apple car, and the Tesla to be built in San Jose. So
this is why we have callers. Callers can correct us.
Yes.
At 1-800-616-2638. That is where you correct us.
Yes.
But anyways, Apple's, car project, it's a thing. It's going to be real. They talked recently to the California DMV about autonomous vehicles. They've been plotting out land where you can officially test these self-driving cars as well as electric cars. Apple is going to make an Apple car. There's 100% without a doubt. They're going to do this. It'll be interesting to see. I still feel like Tesla is so far ahead of them. I don't know how much they're going to have a lot more experience. Tesla's going to have like their 3rd, 4th gen car out by the time Apple has a car out.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I've seen some mock-ups of the Apple car though, and it looks pretty cool. So
yeah, because they're mock-ups. They look like a car from Blade Runner. I mean, it's like
if Apple, stick with your mock-ups, please. You'll sell some cars. Make it, if it can sync with my phone, then even better.
Okay, let's check this out. Since we're having some fun, we're talking about cars. We also want to talk about fun accessories for your phone. Do you want to talk about this first one, Steven? Did you check it out that much?
Yeah, I watched the video. I don't know too much about it, but it looks like it's an umbrella to help you hold your phone in the rain. Is that am I correct on this?
Yeah. While you pull up the video, let me tell you what it might be called. It's called the phone umbrella. So this guy here, he's like having trouble texting, and he's like, and I know exactly how this feels. He's like, oh, dude, what's going on? And this girl's like, yo, homeboy. She's like looking down. She's got a phone umbrella. It has like a C. It has like a handle that's shaped like a C, so you can put your wrist. And she just grabs the umbrella from him and looks, and it's kind of feels like a weird porny, like soft porn right now.
Weird anime.
And they're like, they're like all staring at each other, and he just puts his hand through it. Then she takes the phone from him and then has him put 2 hands on the phone and looks at him like, "You want this, big boy?"
It's so funny.
It's the phone umbrella, dude.
That is pretty awesome.
It's done by a Korean design firm. They're called KT Design. This video actually came out sometime in May of this year, but it's kind of obviously picked up steam now. People started talking about it. Honestly, I want one of those things. I think that thing's awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Such a great idea.
See, innovation. It's the iPhone. It's innovating. It's making new industries, and even in umbrellas. It's crazy.
And then the next one.
I saw this one too.
This is for all our dog lovers out there. If you ever had trouble taking selfies with your pets because they never know where to look, this could solve your problems. It's called the Poot Selfie. It's a Kickstarter project. And let me just tell you, it's a tennis ball on top of a phone.
Let me fast forward it to the product. There we go.
Here it is. He's like walking his dogs around. It's like a mount that holds a tennis ball on top of your phone. So then, you know, like when your dogs look at you, they'll look at the freaking tennis ball, and they'll be paying attention. Like a tennis ball to a dog is like crack, basically, right?
Yeah, they're one track mind. Perfect.
Honestly, I see. The thing is, I'm not gonna buy a Poot Selfie. I'm just gonna hold a tennis ball on top of my phone now.
It's awesome.
Like it's probably messed up, but it is pretty beautiful. I shouldn't say that because I'm like taking away business from these people that have this great idea. But don't put on an Oh, they're put on a tablet.
How much could that thing cost? I think it's probably 50 cents, right? It's got to be like $2. Look at that.
Dude, it's gonna sell for like 10, 15 bucks, I bet you. Because you know what? They're gonna sell the ball with it, and they're gonna sell the mount with it, and they're gonna make it like you gotta have these two together.
There's got to be other uses for that thing too, besides holding the ball. You know, people are gonna find some other weird use for it. I'm sure that Apple Extra Crunchy fans can find a fun use for it.
What should we throw it out there? What
Photoshop contest?
Okay, so this takes multiple steps. All right, and we do love the contest. You need to look up the Poot Selfie. You know what? Forget it. Let's have people send us their Photoshop mock-ups of what they would put on top of their phone. It could be anything.
That's good.
It could be anything, all right? The email, you guys, if you want to send it to us, you've got to do it at theapplebite@cnet.com, or you guys can just tweet me at my Twitter name, @BrianTong. We will collect your, what do we want to call this?
Your entries. your pooch selfie entries.
Yeah, we'll just call it a Poot Selfie. You can put anything. If you could put anything on top of a phone, what would you do? And if it's rated RX, we won't show it, but we'll still look at it and laugh at it.
We might censor it and then show it, maybe. We'll see how much time we have.
Depending on how large we have to make the censor.
Yeah, how big the black box needs to be.
Okay. Beecham, tell us about the calls this week. We had like a ton of calls, right?
We were inundated with phone calls who were voting for the winner of our Force Touch Photoshop contest. Let me just refresh everyone's memory.
Yeah.
Last week we did the Force Touch Photoshop contest.
Say that 5 times.
Force Touch Photoshop contest. It is hard to say. So
Force Touch Photoshop. Oh, I can say it actually. Okay.
We had a lot of good entries. This one's from James Ellis, Jeffrey. Let me see his name. Jeffrey CNET, and Luke. Let me look at his name here. It's hard to see. Luke Moinar.
Wasn't it Molnar? Molnar, I think.
Molnar, yeah. But the overall winner. Wait, let me just play some of these voice messages real quick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Here is the winner of our.
See if there's a trend, right?
Yes, I'm gonna put on some background music first. Gotta do this right.
All
okay.
right.
So here's some of our voicemails that we got.
Hi, please cast my vote for Daniel Catania's design. Okay, thank you.
Daniel Catania with one vote there.
I vote for Daniel Catania's design.
Daniel Catania. Daniel Catania. Overwhelming, everybody.
Daniel Catania's design.
Overwhelming.
Oh, it was huge though. It wasn't even close, right?
I vote for Daniel Catania's picture.
Yep. He is the winner of the Force Touch contest by far. And here's his image for everyone. Yes.
So that's what our gut instinct went with, and then we were like, well, we like the one that was like the spec sheet, but this one is the winner.
Yeah,
this
is our gut. He was right. We were right. We chose the right one, Brian. Good job.
But there were, I mean, seriously, there were easily over 60 plus, even more. I don't even know how many calls there were.
Yeah, we had a lot of phone calls, people voting. So thank you very much for calling in and voting, guys. Super cool.
You guys are awesome. So again, for this week, you have some time. You can call in to correct us, or we want to hear what you think about the iPhone 6s, since you guys will be able to play with it. It'll be fun to kind of hear what you guys like and don't like. If you have any bad apples, you can send them to us. I can't guarantee we're going to use the cool sound effect though. I can't. That's ours. That's ours. You can have someone scream in the background.
Sound effect into your. Yeah.
Have someone scream in the background. And then also our Poot Selfie. If you could put anything on top of a phone, send it our way. We'll show it. We'll show you love. But yeah, This is our first remote show.
Yeah, it actually worked out pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's always fun with you, man. So I think that's gonna do it for this week. Beach, what do you think?
I think that's it, man. I'm playing the outro music.
We're gonna hear the music. All right, that's gonna do it. Come back next week. We'll see y'all. iPhone Friday. It's over. It's over. Peace.
Later.